Hello and welcome to the Special Moves podcast. My name's Mike Williams. These guys are Jake Kulkowski.
Yes.
And Liam McKelvey.
Yep, that's me.
Yes. I like the confirmation every time I say that. You don't say hello, you say confirmed.
I'm trying to say, look at this guy, listen to what he's saying because it's true. That's kind of, isn't it? Yeah. It's like that sort of like a shoulder slap.
Yeah, I like to think that that's sort of your role generally, you know.
Sycophant, yes, man.
Look at this. Yeah, exactly. This guy over here.
I'm going to have like one of those big foam hands pointing at him. I don't know what the audio equivalent will be.
Just saying the word yes, I guess. Exactly what you're already doing.
Yeah. How do I agree? But just with audio.
Some sort of three-letter word. We've got a lot to talk about this week. We've got a lot of really good emails. We've got plenty of news to get through and one game which is coming out. I mean, there's actually a few, but I looked at the Metacritic and I thought, nah. So I've only gone with one game for the new releases for this week. But first, some news, Jacob.
Oh yeah, sure, okay, guys. It's very nice to see you, or not see you if you.
Jake's leaving Special Moves.
Nah,
not really. I imagine a few people already like hit pause at a time. He's not leaving.
Sub now. No, you can stay. All it is I have got a job, a very nice job in the video games industry. I'm just a media and influencer consultant for Dead Good PR, which is fantastic news for me. Brilliant. The job opportunity is great. I get to have a lot better quality of life. I'm working from home and stuff like that. But I just thought, as a matter of transparency, to bring it up to everybody listening, because as soon as you hear PR, some people might be like, oh, okay, so you're getting paid to tell us what to think or something like that. But it's nothing like that at all. My job is actually nothing to do with that at all, so don't worry. I just wanted to let you guys know because I felt like professionally and just to you guys as well, it's like I don't want any conflict of interest there. So, I will be time to time working on games that will just come up in conversation, or there might be clients that the company that I work for are working with, and I'll know things and I don't want to discuss them and stuff like that. So we're going to make sure that anything that gets covered here just going to be nice and transparent. Yeah. If these guys happen to be talking about a game that I'm working on, first of all, I don't want to be part of it.
Jake will just have to shut up. Unfortunately.
So you can look forward to a muted Jake in the future. And also, that's the only thing that you guys are going to have to say, isn't it? Like, please know that Jake is on an unrelated note.
Well, we'll make it clear, innit? We'll just say every time.
So, I just want to be clear about it, just in case, because the thing is, it's just like keeping you guys up to date with what I'm doing anyway. A lot of you guys take interest in us, especially people that listen to the podcast and the people that send in emails, and our patrons especially. I've already sort of let the patrons know. But just for total sake of transparency, like it's going to be on my social media and everything as of today. But it's just worth letting you guys know. So if there's anything, well, we're going to structure it anyway, so I don't have to talk about anything. It'll be
we're not going to we're going to keep going. It's going to be fine. Like I guess that's the one weird thing. Like we've been in a weird sort of since I guess when was it, like August last year or something. Our situations personally have changed so much within that. I'm now in my second job since that.
Absolutely. It's
full time, so it's happened. We've had a lot to sort of deal with, and I guess it feels a little bit like it's finally settling down in some sense now. Like
absolutely.
We feel like we're sort of in control of the situation a little bit better. So nothing's changing. We keep, the podcast is still going.
If anything,
except sometimes Jake can't talk, which is
exactly fantastic.
I mean, I'm pretty happy about this.
Yes, a lot of people are excited because I'm sure everybody who watches people on YouTube and stuff wants everyone to do well. So hey, thank you very much in advance for all your well wishes that I'm sure are going to come rolling in. Yeah. And you can either be excited for me because of that, or you can be excited for the channel because I'll talk less. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. Yeah. Let's get into it for the week.
It doesn't mean that like Jake's not going to be putting input and stuff. I mean, you work for one agency in an ocean of PR. It's like it's not like
absolutely.
You'll have your sort of catalogue of games that you're working with and stuff and working on, so otherwise you'd just be talking about games as normal. So it's
like a normal human being.
Yeah, we're just doing this just so you know what the deal is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we'll constantly remind you so much that you're probably going to get sick of it by the end. But at least you can say, those guys do let us know. Don't they?
My plan is to beat you over the head with this information.
That's what he said. Yeah,
that's
what Mike said.
That's actually what I did say. So we obviously want to be like transparent and stuff whenever we can, and not in every possible sense. I mean, I can't think of anything I would want to keep from you in any way, you know. So we do like to keep you updated generally, like Jake was saying, just about what's going on. But
that's a bit of a big bit
because
of news,
this is Jake specifically working within games. You know, it was just important that you guys knew. So that was what that was about.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thanks. So let's talk about Sekiro.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
You're not doing PR for this one, no?
Oh, stop.
Oh, it's some shit. I can't believe I just did that.
I know, I know. Yeah. Come on, man.
That was weak.
30 seconds.
That was weak. I was doing that for them. That was a little service.
Before we get into it, can we just quickly go through kind of what we were talking about on WhatsApp this morning? How are we saying it? Are we agreed?
Oh, okay. So I feel very much that it is Sekiro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this going on on the internet, right? Sekiro.
Yeah, like people say Naruto like Naruto.
Yeah,
Naruto.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the correct pronunciation of it is it is like Sekiro, but with a rolled R. Sekiro. That's how you say it. Like that.
I thought Japanese,
hardly any
though.
Emphasis on the EH or the KI.
Please furnish
I
us
know
with
what you're
the
about to
correct
say.
one.
I don't know what you're about to say about you thought Japanese. I'm just telling you that's definitely what it is.
I think Japanese use every sort of every set of sort of 2 or 3 letters as its own sound. So ki is always going to be ki, and se is always going to be se, and ro is going to be ro.
Sekiro, but it's like
I don't think there's a k sound in Japanese because it goes vowel, so it goes ko or ka or ki, or there's like a hard sound.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a
Sekiro.
k.
Yeah. Yeah, you mean I see what you're saying.
So anyway,
it's not Sekiro,
if you happen to be Japanese, can you furnish us with this? I don't want any of this. I've learned a bit of Japanese using an app. I want an actual Japanese person.
No Duolingo, boys. Because I watched a lot of the impressions videos, and it's been. We were saying it earlier. There's some Americans that are straight. They've only watched Naruto, so they're calling it, Sekiro, Naruto.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that are really, trying to be respectful and saying it properly, but it sounds like they're being sarcastic. I think RX was saying like Sekiro, and I was like, come on, mate, you're doing a voice there.
Yeah. It becomes an insulting impersonation at that point.
Varty Vidya.
Yeah.
I think what did he say?
Sekiro.
Yeah, he's saying it like how we have been naturally saying it before we realised that we might be wrong.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it until this week when all these previews started coming out, and suddenly there was loads of people talking about Sekiro and stuff, and I was like, what? What game are they talking about? I've not heard of this. Sekiro. It looks an awful lot like Sekiro. This gameplay.
Sekiro. That's how we've been saying it, right?
I'm gonna keep saying Sekiro.
It's like Studio Ghibli, innit? It's just it's Ghibli. Don't come at me with Ghibli.
Yeah, but I actually think Sekiro is right, though. I don't think that.
What, you say Chocobo?
Yeah,
I say Chocobo.
Right,
because you're correct.
Right, now let's leave this here.
Yeah.
Right,
let's call the whole thing
We all
off.
agree on Sekiro.
Come on, man.
I'm more than happy to carry on saying Sekiro.
We've all been saying Sekiro.
Yeah.
Now that we've established that valuable.
Yeah, let's get on to one other misconception.
No.
We need to get this out of the way. Let's just get on to the next thing. Okay, it's not a samurai game, is it, guys? It's a ninja game.
It's yeah.
So can we stop doing that? Can we stop doing that as well? Stop saying samurai powers. Fresh off the Neo boat. It's not that, is it?
No.
You're a shinobi, aren't you?
Yeah, but there are.
I've heard people call him a Ronin, which is a lone samurai. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you were saved by Ronin, but we'll talk about that later. So what do you reckon of this gameplay then?
Looks alright.
We've seen about 12 minutes of gameplay previously, but now, from what I'm aware of, based on a couple of videos that we'd seen, some people flew out to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Some people
flew out. They had a few hours with it.
5 hours.
They went to From's actual headquarters.
And some people who were a bit further afield got flown over to New York, where Activision held the event to do, again, the first 5 hours. So it's the same thing. So we got a lot of the Souls boys like Varty Vidya, Iron was there, Sunlight Blade and stuff like that. And then, you've got your general press were there, I think, with Activision. But a lot of experts have been playing it, and a lot of sort of just Souls noobs.
So if you've been wondering what the last 3 or 4 minutes were about, Sekiro's a new game from the people who made Dark Souls. And it's coming out in just under 2 weeks now, which is pretty exciting.
Of March.
I think it's pretty much my most anticipated game. For the year. I'm trying to think if I'd said that already, but I think I might have said it about Sekiro.
I think when we did our video in
Resident Evil.
Christmas, it was like between. Yeah, it was like Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 2 this
right,
year.
Okay.
And Devil May Cry just been.
Yeah, Liam had Capcom under his belt.
Yeah, I think we basically my two have already been out.
Yeah, Animal Crossing as well, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so Sekiro is a big one for us and for the industry, because From Software is a fucking big deal. They've made some of the most influential games of the last sort of 10 years, and they were very busy boys before that.
I thought they were the most influential. Remember, like I think that they have been the past decade anyway.
For sure.
And they're certainly the most talked about, or maybe it just feels like they're the most talked about. But yeah, they also made this little game called Tenchu, which is what this game is inspired by heavily, which is now on record.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be a follow-up to that. This looks like, to put it bluntly, and you'll be hard pressed to disagree with me, I'm sure, Bloodborne and Tenchu mixed together. Basically, it's fast, it's speedy, it's a bit stealthy. It has got like a linear story when it comes to cinematics, but the way that you engage with the story is very Soulsy. Like you go into different instances and stuff like that. It's something that we've learned.
And you trigger very sort of, I guess, quite mysterious cutscenes every now and then, based on what I've seen, and they don't seem to be hugely, expository or whatever. They're not just telling you what the situation is, which is exactly what you'd expect.
Lots of cryptic messages from NPCs.
Yeah.
So I guess if you want to go, the one thing about these games is they've got huge fan bases, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll be talking about what we've seen in the stuff. So just remember, if you're listening, we've got the timestamps now. So if you do want to go in like super duper fresh and you don't want to know anything about what we're going to talk about in a minute, I guess just skip to the next bit.
So let's just, based on what we've seen, because we haven't played it. I mean, we certainly weren't flown out to Tokyo and whatnot. No. So we can just go off sort of second-hand stuff, I guess. But there's loads to go off. Like I've really sort of got into it this week, just looking at all these, reading previews and watching the videos and stuff, and seeing what people are saying about it. And it seems like basically exactly what I was hoping it would be. But there's some cool stuff that I just never, would have thought about. I mean, the one thing when they announced Sekiro, properly, and you could see what it was like, and you could see the gameplay and stuff, was the hook arm thing, like the grappling hook, which is completely changes how you think about Dark Souls and Bloodborne, because suddenly you can go anywhere, and it looks like they'll just give you sort of a village to go around, which is very different to the sort of winding, sort of labyrinth sort of stuff of Dark Souls and Bloodborne, where there's definite paths that you can go on, and if you're going beyond that, it's because you're like glitching out of it and trying to exploit some broken thing of the game, like, because it's very, it shovels you down
a very horizontal path.
Yeah. And this is not that. You can jump on roofs. You can sort of prowl around. You can listen in on conversations with NPCs.
Yeah, so that was quite a focused mechanic that a lot of this stuff showed off. I don't think I'd seen that before in any stuff, but yeah, you can listen in, and that's how you get your kind of Soulsborne dialogue.
Yeah, but you also get the sort of like, oh, he's really vulnerable to fire, dropped into a conversation, and then
good job, there's no fire around here.
Yeah. So when you're fighting that impossible boss, it's not so impossible if you know that he's vulnerable to fire, sort of thing. So there's that like mechanical element to it as well, where there's good gameplay reasons for listening to the dialogue as well. I think it looks fucking amazing, man. I really can't wait to get my hands on it.
Of course, man. I think that the big change for me there that you mentioned was like, well, one thing with like Souls and stuff is that the enemies can always go where you are because it's so horizontal. Like if you pull a mob and they start coming towards you or whatever, I know a bit MMO terminology there. I don't know where I went.
Yeah, I was just thinking gaming's so funny.
Yeah, if you pull a mob, classic. It's so funny though because everyone's gonna know what I'm on about, but if you don't, it's weird. I
want a new gamer tag. I'm actually chosen my Xbox gamer tag.
Yeah.
I'm still going with a mob puller.
yeah, boy. Yeah, that's a new Apex Legends role. So yeah, this the big change here is that you can access with your little grappling hook thing places that the enemies can't get to, which gives you like a moment of respite. So the combat seems to be like super fluid on this.
Yeah.
But you've at least like if things get a bit tricky, you can just zip up out of the way, which
I've seen people like hiding out on trees to sort of like get compose themselves.
Exactly.
There is stealth in it, so it's worth doing that, right? It's worth like getting out. Apparently, I think it was Varty Video who said it was like a little bit clunky, maybe like it takes a bit too long to escape combat and re-establish stealth sort of thing.
Yeah.
It takes a bit too long to do that, but it's possible. It's doable.
Yeah, because you can skill up the stealth, right? So like, it starts off and you're killing people and it's not even that silent. But apparently, like you can put skills into the kills being more muffled and silent, and also there's like the cool ability that I guess a lot of people would have seen is like, you can kill someone in a certain way that it makes a cloud of blood smoke, which you can then disappear into, like some sort of mad ninja Batman, and then disappear up a tree. So that's very cool for re-establishing stealth.
Imagine Batman was that violent, though. That's
yeah.
That's
literally turning their blood
hardcore.
into vaporizes their blood somehow instantly.
Except doing it with some like small remote bomb or something like that.
I won't put past the guy. He's mental.
It's probably been done in the comic.
Yeah.
It's got to have been.
So there's this nice element of that I don't see many people talking about. Is that,
this nice element of exploding blood clouds.
Not that part.
Yeah.
The nice element of like, if you go in too deep in Souls and you start pulling all these like enemies, like, you can't get away. You've got to like run for miles, but some of them are fast.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can just zip up to a tree, take a breather, throw a shuriken or something is a nice element. It's cool, and you can pick people off one by one.
Yeah.
Stealth is the best though.
That's where that mashup sort of comes in it, because you've got the Tenchu's aspect and you've got the Dark Souls aspect coming together to form one monstrous game.
Perfect. Two games that I love like a lot,
One specific little thing I like the look of as well is that it's sort of, Dark Souls, you're ducking by the shield a lot. Bloodborne, you're rolling out of the way a lot. What do you bring to the table in this one? It's sort of like deflection based.
Lots of parrying.
And also like a little leap. So you get like low attacked quite a lot, so you can like hop over the low attacks like by physically just jumping over it. And there's not usually been jumping in Dark Souls and Bloodborne unless you're sort of unless you're doing it to access a secret area or something like that. You don't really do it, so and it's really shit and awkward to do.
What do you guys think of this? Because there's no stamina, so you've got there's unlimited stamina.
Yeah.
But do you feel like it's like rock paper scissors then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you some attacks you can't deflect, you can only dodge or block or jump. Some you can't, blah blah blah. Basically, you've got to keep an eye on an enemy, and normally like in Dark Souls, any attack dodge in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because who's using shields like? But then games like this, you might have to jump, you might have to block, you might have to parry, which seems like it could be a lot for someone to take in. Do you guys think that's going to be the biggest challenge?
I think it's the biggest shift probably. That and the the more exploration sort of aspect of the actual levels. Those are going to be the two biggest differences. I think the actual combat systems sounds really different. It sounds like Dark Souls to Bloodborne to this. It sounds like that kind of, because Bloodborne was a huge sort of game changer for Dark Souls players because it was so fast. You had no shield to hide behind, and you had to be really quick and aggressive.
You get health back for going on the offensive, don't you?
Dark Souls famously, you have to be careful. You've got to take the hits and then hit back when you think you've got the opportunity. Bloodborne is completely different. Well, this is that again. I think that sort of same scale of difference again. So it's going to be really interesting to see how people deal with it. I'm just excited to play it.
It seems weird that the game is based a lot on these systems of posture and how enemies have like these health bars, but they've also got these little diamonds next to the health bars which represent how many health bars they have. So like if they've got two of them, it means if you get the health bar all the way down, then a second one will appear. But you can instantly take one of these diamonds away, like these basically lives away, by doing a stealth kill or breaking their posture and then doing like, they call it a death blow, which is perfect because that's exactly what it is. So and each one of these acts as like the stage, like how in all the Souls games that bosses have stages. They've got this, which seems very interesting, that you could, it's kind of how Bloodborne encourages you to be offensive when you've been attacked, which is immediately like pushing the fight in your flight or fight bit of your brain. This is like that, like you're going to keep pushing and pushing because you're building up this sort of limit break bar, which is their posture bar, so you can do a death blow, which it seems essential in this. It's all about that, isn't it? Knocking them out of balance.
It's genius that in Bloodborne specifically. If you don't know, it's if you lose a bit of health, you've got a brief window where you can get some of it back by attacking the enemy. So this is that. In the same, like Jake says, is doing the same sort of thing. It's encouraging you to play the game in a certain way. It sort of reminds me a bit of what Bungie do with Destiny, because in Destiny your health bar drops down a certain rate, but then in the last like 10% or whatever, it sort of survives a little bit more because it makes you. It doesn't make you think you have to run away and duck and hide. You just feel like you can just about survive. You can just about stay in the fight a little bit longer because they just sort of trick you and encourage you to play a certain way. Which is, if a game can do that to you and then it's good, then that's a really good sort of achievement, I think. So yeah, that's a lot on Sekiro based on what we haven't played. Just what we've
There's
seen.
going to be a lot on there, I guess, when we do play it. I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely.
There'll be a lot on it all over the internet. We're just basically getting you ready for it. This is the warm up.
We're bracing you.
Not with us. I mean with the internet. Like,
if you don't like it, join us. That's all. No. Okay, so Apex Legends then. Another game I'm sure people are probably getting a bit sick of hearing about.
If they're not into it.
Yeah. Even if they are into it a little bit. I don't know. It just seems to be, sort of dominating the conversation a little bit. Apex Legends is so big now. So big. 50 million players is the last sort of milestone that we've had.
And that was like a week ago.
Yeah.
Which could be another 10 by then, do you know what I mean?
Which is sort of breakneck. It's completely outpacing Fortnite, which itself was an unbelievable phenomenon when that was happening. People couldn't believe it was outpacing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and people couldn't believe how quick Battlegrounds was growing. So these Battle Royale games are, when you get it right, holy shit, people want to play it, right? So a little side effect of that is people like to cheat in it, and you get massive amounts of players getting banned, basically, for cheating. Mainly on PC, right?
Yeah.
That's happened a lot in Battlegrounds, that's happened a lot in Fortnite. It happened like a lot in Battlegrounds. I think that's
almost an epidemic in Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it's like pretty
major.
major.
The bans were like in the millions, weren't they?
Yeah. And I remember they took time out of the development schedule to try and sort the cheating problem
declare
out.
war.
Pretty much.
Well, that is basically exactly what's happened with Apex Legends. They've banned 355,000 cheaters on the PC already, right? And Respawn has itself declared war on on the cheaters, because there's I guess you've got to really look like you're going for it, like you're taking them head on. You can't be seen to be sitting on your hands. If it
hasn't worked out well for GTA Online on PC,
No.
which is famously a haven for all sorts of shenanigans these days.
It's incredibly off-putting, and that's what you don't want. If your game is getting 50 million players within a few weeks of launching, you want to keep that ball rolling, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Here's the quote from Respawn. It was on Reddit. The service works, but the fight against cheaters is an ongoing war that will need to continue to adapt and be very vigilant about fighting. We take cheating very seriously and care deeply about the health of Apex Legends for all players, which is quite an encouraging quote, I guess. But it's nothing worse than I can't imagine. I've always said this, but I can't imagine anything more tragic than cheating in a game. I just don't fucking. I don't understand the thought process of it, because what do you get out of it?
Banned. Hopefully, anyway.
I just don't get it. I really don't get
exactly, it. Yeah, you are the champion, but
you're not though. You're not though, are you?
Unless you're just taking screenshots of it and sending it to all your mates. But even then, like, if they know that you're cheating, it's no one can.
And it's like a form of trolling, as far as I'm concerned. You're only doing it to be a prick.
It's like that. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that makes more sense than doing it for the achievement or whatever.
Yeah, because I really can't wrap my head around it. Like, why the fuck you'd even?
Yeah.
Anyway, the bad thing for the game is that, like I've already said, it's just quite off-putting. So if you feel, sometimes you feel like you've been robbed because of the connection or just fucking bad luck or whatever.
Everyone knows that feeling. I shot that guy 3 times. He only shot me once. How come I'm dead? Sort of thing. Yeah.
That's my life. But it's it's within the sort of rules of the game. Not the rules, but within the parameters of the game. You know what the deal is. But when something really doesn't. Like, if you're just in a building and suddenly you die because someone is fucking,
shot you through a wall somehow or something.
Yeah, or they
I don't know what the cheats are, but
neither do I, because I don't do
exactly.
it. So I can't imagine anything more annoying. But that's happened. I think. Do you think this is a strong enough sort of response? Do you think this is are you surprised to see that many cheaters? First of all, already.
No, I'm not surprised. Because it's a free-to-play game, and it's a massive free-to-play game.
Yep.
You're bound to attract some people who are into that sort of, they just want to, either troll people or get to the top of the leaderboard by any means necessary. I think it seems to affect free-to-play games
Yeah,
than
it does.
anything.
Yeah, and there's always the PC in it. PC is always leading the charge with.
I think it's just because of the ease of access on PC.
Yeah.
Literally all you have to do is go to whatever modding website and download it.
Exactly, and think of it like that. You know, if you're like a hacker or a modder or something like that, and you can make one of these things, if you're, you know, if you've got the talent there, and it's 50 million people are playing it.
The game's built on Source as well,
even if
so it's
0.1% buy it.
You know.
From you for like 20 quid, you know, they'll be making money. So I can see that's how it's going. But yeah, it seems crazy. And I think there was some quote about how that they've got some plans to ban more cheaters, but they don't want the cheaters to see them coming or something like that. I think that's
it.
A silent war.
A silent war, mate. Exactly.
Yeah. Which
nice.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I just lull them into a false sense of security or something. They think they're ace, and then bang, you know, they haven't got
a special ops respawn anti-cheat team.
You
never hear them coming.
I think what would be nice is that solution of putting them all together. Just let them play the game, but let them play
just
with
put
other
on their own
twats,
server.
I was going to say 60 squads of cheaters jump out of a plane, out of a supply.
That's an e-sport, that, isn't it? I'd watch it, man.
Aimbot wars. Yeah.
Who's got the best like sort of coding for cheats and stuff?
It's like Escape from New York, that.
Yeah.
Putting them all onto the one island and just letting them loose.
It's pretty.
I watched The Purge Anarchy the other day.
Yeah.
It's the best one, that one, the second one.
Is that the second one?
And it's still shit.
Oh no.
It's like Mad Max. It's basically Mad Max, but shit.
It's a bit of a John
the guy,
Carpenter
the guy
rip-off.
in the big truck.
Yes.
Big Daddy or whatever his name was. I thought that was quite good. I thought it was alright, that film.
It's a solid 6 out of 10. You know?
Yeah, it's like cheese, man.
Oh,
yeah, it's very cheesy.
I was howling. I was just.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's so bad. It's like it's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable in a bad way. Yeah.
It's not like the one when it was like the.
But the other ones are worse. So if that's the scale,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. There's that one that was dead serious. Like I'm a politician and I'm going to stop it.
That's the
election
one.
year. That one.
That's super serious. But the one where they're just all outside shooting each other with Gatling guns and that. Come on. And the guy's got that god mask. That's like quite iconic mask.
Yeah.
No, sad that, isn't it? Sad state of horror that's iconic.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, how is this?
Yeah.
If people were just seeing it as like part of the blob of shit films, but that's what I always thought, that it was like the only good one of the whole lot, but it's still dog shit. Bunch. Anyway, so that's enough of movies. Sorry for bringing it up. So that's the state of Apex Legends at the moment. I reckon.
The Purge Anarchy.
How long before we see 100 million players? I don't know. It can't be that far away, can it? The way it's fucking rocketing.
Let's see what happens with this Battle Pass, which is coming out this month.
Yeah,
they're still saying that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that will really help boost the game's daily plays, I think, if it goes well. And if it doesn't, it might turn people off. If it's 20 quid for the Battle Pass or something like that. But if they do give you the option to earn double in-game credits, and then next season comes up like Fortnite, and you can buy the next Battle Pass with the in-game credits that you've accrued from buying it, means you'll only have to buy it once if you keep clocking in and punching in. And
that's the one thing I don't like about any of that is the that's what all the games are wanting you to do now. Anthem and the Division, they want you to fucking work. They want you to clock in. That's the word you just used, and that's what it is. They want you to come in and do your hour or two every day.
Apex,
don't fucking tell me what to do.
Think you get 150 points on Apex for your first kill of the day or something like that?
Yeah, you get bonus XP for your first kill.
I never kill anyone in it, so I don't
your
know.
First kill of the day is worth about 4 kills because it's the first one of the day. It's quite,
Yeah, it's like your login bonus.
That's the login bonus. The login bonus is the secretly most like poisonous little thing in that's what they all want you to do. They want you to log in every single day and do your graft.
Yeah.
You come out of the coal mine, you get home, you have a bit of tea, and then you're logging in, getting your login bonus.
It's not really coal mines here anymore. Don't let him trick you. That's gonna get some English people thinking, typical Welsh in a coal mine. They're not going to believe that you're joking.
If only we had an industry that strong in Wales, isn't it? That's, so we got an email here about Apex Legends from Callum. Callum says, "Dear Special Moves, my name is Callum, and I live in Derby."
Strong greeting, that.
Thanks for telling me that, Callum.
Everything you want in a greeting.
That's one thing that the Dear Special Moves emails, so it's about a 50% success
Where's he
rate.
from again?
Derby.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that because he included it in his email. Derby. Like everyone needs to do.
Yeah.
Tell me where you're from.
Derby. Do we have to say something about the place or anything?
Nah, it's fine.
I've never been. I can say that. I've never been to Derby.
Great.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Okay.
With the recent news that Apex Legends has reached 50 million players, it made me think. I have never really been a fan of Battle Royale games due to the feeling of no real progression like you would get in other story or competitive games. Regardless, I've been playing Apex every day after work since it was ghost dropped. So I like that. It came to a point where I started to feel guilty, telling myself that I'll go home and play other things that I could make progress in, like Anthem, Metro, or anything in my backlog. Yet the first thing I did when I got home was play Apex, and that's when it clicked. We play games to have fun and enjoy ourselves, so even though we may feel pressured in some way to play certain titles, it's always important to play what makes you happy, as that's the whole point. Is it not? Keep doing what you're doing, Special Moves. I ingest your podcast as soon as I can every week. I truly feel like I'm just chilling in a party with my mates when I've got you guys talking in my ears.
You see what he's done here? That's obviously written by some sort of alien.
Yeah.
I ingest, and he's forgot about how alien that sounds, and he's gone. I like to. I feel like I'm at what do humans do? Chilling at a party.
I like nothing more than consuming your audio
with my human ears. Okay, Callum.
From Derby. Cheers, Callum. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a really good point. Really, and it sort of goes back to what we're saying about the logging bonus. I don't want to fucking play for a logging bonus. I don't give a shit about logging bonuses. I just want to play what I want to play, like when I get home. And that does happen to be Apex Legends an awful lot of the time at the moment.
Yeah, really.
Because it's good fun. And you know, I definitely know. I've definitely played loads of games where I've just thought, I need to keep chugging on. I need to keep, like Metro, for example. I know we were doing a video of it, but I would much rather have played Apex. But I was just, you know, that's not a slight on Metro or anything. You know, I did enjoy Metro, but it just sort of. I know that even if I wasn't doing this, I would still have urged myself to play Metro because I can finish it. Where are you guys stood on this? Do you agree with him? Do you agree we should just fucking play what you want and don't worry about the good reasons for doing stuff and the finishing stories and shit like that?
Just don't worry about reasons. Sounds again like he's setting up for some sort of planetary invasion.
Yeah.
I think we should all just sort of leave our front doors unlocked, leave our minds open at night, and just like, you know, don't worry too much. Don't sweat the small stuff. All right. Well, yeah. Although a bit cautious about this Callum gent. I'm going to agree. Yeah. No, I've been on Apex all the time. Like, all the time. Like, it's the first time in ages that I can remember.
Yeah.
Like, when Sean says, are we going up now? I'm like, yeah, I'll be up there in a minute. And then I'm half an hour.
And every opportunity with you guys, I'm on. If I know I've got an hour, I'm on WhatsApp. I'm like, boys, play a bit of Apex. And it's
like the perfect nightcap.
It really is. It's
also the perfect wake up.
2 or 3 games, or 7 if you're us sometimes. You know. It's that was a comment on how shit we are at the game, not the fact that we couldn't tear ourselves away from it. Sometimes we can squeeze sort of 7 games.
We have been doing a lot better lately.
We have recently, and it's very nice that you want to sort of establish that. Yeah. But it's fine. It doesn't matter if we. It doesn't matter if we're shit.
But I think that kind of helps. I think with 50 million players, if we were sort of established as the bottom 5%, it might not be as fun if every game we were losing. Yeah. But playing it more, and the more we play, we feel like we're getting better. Yeah. It's even more encouraging. Which is, of course,
you know, you're saying there's no, Callum says there's no progression there, but of course there is. There is a progression of sorts because you get better at it. You get, you know the map better. You learn stuff about the environment, and you know, crucially with Apex as well, you're part of like a conversation at that point because everyone's talking about it. So you sort of
can hold your own in a conversation. You can talk about Spitfires and Wingmen all you want.
Yeah,
when it makes sense, it's like, oh, it's nice. And you know what? Like I was saying, when the first day it came out, it's got that thing. Like I was talking to some people on the weekend, and what's the conversation? Oh, who'd you play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I play Pathfinder, which isn't that popular, really.
Yeah.
So it's nice to speak to someone else who plays Pathfinder. And it's like, exactly.
Liam, you like to finish a game.
I do.
Do you ever sort of compel yourself to play through it and grind through it, or do you always want to play your game through to the end? Like,
it depends on the game, really. Like with Apex, I only really play it now when I get the call to arms from you guys.
Yeah.
But other than that,
brilliantly worded.
Yes,
that's exactly what it is. And then, but other than that, if it's just like on my own time, I try and play like single player games or other stuff that I have in my backlog. I don't know why, but it's just like. But yeah, I do feel compelled to finish games a lot of the time. Like, I didn't famously, did I? But I remember telling you guys that JRPG I played on PS3 that I absolutely hated, but but I finished it anyway.
No, that's
because
what
I was just like,
yeah.
well, I need to finish it, and I hated every second I played of that game.
No offense to the developers.
30 hours later, and I finished it. I was like, well, that was shit. And
I'd love to see that. That's a perfect Metacritic extract. You know, I hated every second I played of it. 0 out of 10. Yeah.
I do fall into the trap where even if I'm not particularly enjoying a game, I try and finish it because I feel like I want to get my money's worth almost.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I also do it for the feeling of ticking it off and knowing I've done it.
Yeah.
And like Hollow Knight is one at the moment where Hollow Knight's quite tough, and then I'm playing it on the Switch in bed, which is sort of a relaxing time, right? I want to get to sleep, but I sort of get worked up because it's like, oh fuck, I can't do this little Super Meat Boy bit, and and stuff, and there's a lot, because there's like difficult platforming or whatever, or sometimes there's bosses that and it just, I feel like I'm persevering with it at times where I don't always feel like, I really fancy playing a bit of Hollow Knight, but I can't play anything else on my Switch until I finished it. I just don't know what I just have to get it done. Maybe it would be better if I played a bit of Stardew Valley or something before going to sleep. Certainly makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I'm
10 to the fields.
But I keep playing Hollow Knight. So, it's a really interesting conversation. That Callum, great email, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
So, is there one other topic we haven't talked about? Oh yeah, Anthem.
The big patch.
The big old patch, which has totally fixed the game, or totally broken the game, or totally not done anything, depending on who you are and how much Anthem you play, because it's a big patch.
There's a lot of variables there.
Exactly. BioWare's dropped a pretty big patch for Anthem that's changed loads of stuff. It was patch 1.3 or something like that, or 1.03 or whatever, and it's sort of changed some. This is exactly the kind of thing you're going to get now with Anthem. This is the way it's going to be for months now. They're going to be dropping patches and changing things, and that's the way these games go, isn't it? It's changed respawn timers. It's changed sort of. What was the other big one? There's another big one that everyone is
stopping
talking
people's
about.
PS4
Was it the loot?
No,
it hasn't done that.
No, it was. You can launch an expedition from anywhere within the Fort Tarsis
that's
or
good.
launch bay.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a frustrating bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Walk into your javelin just to get, you get dropped in the middle of some quest bit. You've got to walk it here. It's a lot of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was going loading screen, select your mission, loading screen, select your equipment.
Well,
loading screen.
I'll say a couple of other things that's changed before we talk about loading screens. It's removed respawn restrictions. It's changed loot, that's just every single patch now is going to say we've changed the way loot works. That's just that's what it's going to be like. There are a few crashes that have been fixed, like some major crashes, and it's improved like audio stuff. Also, the Colossus, which is like the biggest one, as you'd imagine, it does this like shield charge move where you just sort of run forward and destroy everything. Except it couldn't charge through destructible objects, so it couldn't charge through like an exploding barrel or the sci-fi equivalent of an exploding barrel, but now it can, so that's exciting. But what it hasn't done is fix loading stuff, and you can't really fix that. I can't see them changing that. The way the game's built, you get hit with loading screens all the time.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on under the hood that can be tweaked to stop that sort of thing.
I don't know.
I mean, you're right. The launch point, if any point in Fort Tarsus, you can see why and how they can do that. But minimizing loading screens, can that be added in afterwards? It doesn't seem like it.
It seems it would only be there if it absolutely had to be there, right? No developer wants to put loading screens everywhere.
Exactly.
So why how do you fix that? I don't know if you can really. Also, there's a lot of people complaining about the end game at this point, which is always what you get. And that's going to take ages to fix. They're not going to. It doesn't matter who they are. They're not going to be able to just fix the end game with like the next patch. It's going to take that. Always takes so long with these types of games. If people are complaining about the end game, people are complaining about it for in some cases years. Until there's a big fucking expansion or something that adds loads of content and changes things up and stuff. So
what it is you don't like about the end game might be different than someone else's. So it's very hard to nail down. I know that there's some issues with the loot that they fix. Like I think after a certain level you can't get like the lower tier loot.
When you get to level 30, which is the max, they won't give you white and green loot drops anymore, which were common and uncommon, I think.
So you can so
you'll only get rare
so they're the loot
above.
changes.
So the sort of value floor is raised now.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So you
I
should get
made value floor up, but it sounds right, doesn't it? So.
But you should get loot that's more worth your while, really.
Yeah, because you don't want to be grinding endgame to find like level 1 rifles.
Yeah.
Or do you? Did they fix that?
Lol. I don't know actually. I don't think they did.
So for those that don't know about that, that's interesting. It is a bug though. Anthem dev has confirmed it. But yeah, that the scaling was a bit of an issue, and like this guy had like a level 30 odd SMG or something.
Yeah.
And he flipped out to like a level 1. Is it like called a defender rifle?
Yeah, the one you start with.
Basic.
And even though the numbers above the heads of the enemies were different, the health bar was like it was taking more health. The level 1 rifle, even though it was only doing like 40 damage, was taking about half the health in one shot, whereas the other one that was doing about 200 damage was doing a quarter of their health. So like the weapon scaling, which is the whole reason you're going to play a looter shooter, really seemed to have a big problem with it. I don't know if it's affected everybody or if it just affected certain people.
It was just some vid. It was just like one GIF, basically, wasn't it? Showing that what the situation is, and that's enough to fucking completely be a disastrous set of headlines for a company. Like, there's loads of changes, though, absolutely loads of changes. I mean, it does cover basically everything you expect, like bug fixes, balance changes for like how much damage you deal with certain stuff, how much damage you take with certain stuff, and then they have looked into that scaling thing, but not. I don't think specifically with that rifle. I might be wrong, but I don't think they've specifically fixed that level 1 rifle thing. But they have changed the way scaling works a little bit. There's updates to creatures and all that sort of thing. It is a very big update, and if you're into Anthem at this point, you'll want to see this. This is, from the outside, it looks like good news to me that there is already a huge update with loads of bullet points.
So soon after the launch,
it's the way it should be, and that's going to be a good sign for anyone who's into Anthem and they're watching. Even if this one doesn't fix the thing you're complaining about,
they're going to be working to
it. Working on
it shows they're listening.
Exactly.
And that's all that's what you need to do. It doesn't matter anymore about the launch of games anymore. It's how fast you can fix them.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of you might find that sad. You might find that not sad at all. But that's the state of things these days.
Exactly. Everything's got a roadmap in it. So. Let's do some more emails. Dear Special Moves, the first time I played Diablo 3, I turned it off halfway through and wanted to smash the disc with a hammer so no one else would have to endure the game's mess of conflicting themes.
I didn't know I sent an email this week.
I've never wanted to smash anything because of a mess of conflicting themes before.
Is that like a never before seen sentence?
That's a hell of an opening sentence there.
Don't buy any David Lynch.
That's a good joke.
This doesn't make any sense.
Last week I decided to give it another shot because Metacritic score of 90 had been baffling me for years. For 3 years, in fact. I tried to focus on the game's strengths and ignore the abysmal story. I'm not saying this, Blizzard fans. Not only have I finished the main campaign, but I really enjoyed it and want to check out the other character classes. It feels wrong to say that I like the game now, but it is what it is. I've never had a game turn around like this before. All the best from Julian in Melbourne, Australia. Thanks, Julian, for remembering to tell us where you're from.
Yeah. Thanks, man. And also,
great email. I like.
He really didn't want to like it. Even now, he can't quite say it.
Smash it specifically with a hammer.
Yeah, but even now, he's like, I don't really want to say I like it,
but
I have done it and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that's like he's actively sitting there looking to get pissed off, and it's still impressing him. So that's good.
What I'd like to know, Julian, a little follow up if you don't mind. Can you tell us what platform you played it on? Because if you played it on the Switch,
you wouldn't have played it on the Switch.
Do you not think?
I don't know.
A lot of people are playing on the Switch.
I'm going to take a punt.
But he said disc, not cartridge. So
I'm going to give.
That was the initial effort.
He might have revisited it on the Switch.
I see.
So he might. That's what I mean. Yeah. So I might have picked it up and played it in a different situation.
A man that angry shouldn't have a Switch because he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Those Joy-Cons are going to get.
It's a potential weapon, isn't
it? I didn't really rate Diablo 3. I played it when it came out, and I was a witch doctor. That was it. I was like, oh, that's cool. What do I do next? I play the story again, and they keep going through the same levels over and over again, just to get things that have got higher numbers than other things, and I didn't like it. And then I played the Barbarian, I think. Is that the one that can do like the whirlwind spin
attack?
That's
why I played it.
Didn't really enjoy that, because I'd done it. I was playing it for like the story, like, it's an RPG.
The barbarian had a nice like leap, which I quite liked.
He did,
so,
yeah.
You could jump into the middle of a thing, and it was cool.
He did, and so that happened. Blah blah blah. And I played it at Christmas Day actually, with my brother, and I was playing my sister's character, who was like level 25 billion or whatever. The numbers are like that though.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing attacks and it's like 4.2 million.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Yeah,
It meant nothing.
It reminds me, and I didn't experience this personally, but from what people say about like arcade machines and shit, like where Pac-Man had like. There was like high score creep in arcades, and you had like really fucking huge numbers for like high scores.
Yeah.
But it sort of feels a bit like
I'm
that.
in this
Like
dungeon, and the only thing that's changed is the numbers above people's heads. I'm dealing like 4 million per attack.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything. I've not got any connection to this character because I jumped on him, and that was like super duper end game that he's on. He's like hunting for this set or something like that.
Yeah. That's what it is. You're just looking for loot, aren't you? And that's the model that you're seeing in Anthem, like we've just been talking about, and the Division and Destiny and all these games. That's where that comes from, isn't it? Like that looting sort of dungeon crawling, like just get me some bigger, better stuff with higher numbers.
Yeah,
that's what all these shared world shooters are built on.
Yeah, some seem to make more sense than others. This one. Because I very much enjoy it in Destiny. This one didn't seem to do much for me the first time round, and played it at Christmas, tried to give it another chance. I didn't really enjoy it. But what did you guys think? And by the way, the first time I played it was on PC, second time I played it was on Switch. Well, what did you guys think of Diablo or in the different stages? Did you play like Reaper of Souls or whatever?
I did, yeah. I played it. I got Diablo on PC, not at launch though. I first played it just before they did the big 2.0 patch, where they fixed their loot. And then, got Reaper of Souls. And I only played through both campaigns the once, but I enjoyed them for what they were. But I didn't feel any need to like get on the loot treadmill, just like keep chasing that better gear. I played through it once and I was like, I'm done with it now. And I just logged out and didn't go back to it.
I played it at launch on PC and just fucking succumbed to the marketing, basically. And because it wasn't really... if it wasn't marketed as heavily as it was, I probably wouldn't have got it. And I just got sort of like, that sounds like...
It wasn't highly anticipated.
Yeah, it was. And it was really just, I just remember a swell of like chat and stuff online about it. And I was playing stuff on my PC like quite fresh as well. So I was sort of had my big sort of gaming PC really for the first time, maybe a year or two before Diablo came out. So I was playing like... Dragon Age Origins and stuff on PC that I played on console before, but like, with looking like with mods and shit like that. And, and I really was getting into PC gaming. So I was like trying to see what PC gaming was all about a little bit as well. So that's why I got into it. And I have kind of fancied getting it on the Switch, but I don't know if it seems like it would be a bad thing. Like I would just, I've been telling you about Hollow Knight, how like I insist on playing Hollow Knight. I feel like that I would maybe fall into that trap of just playing Diablo when there's loads of like nice indie games and stuff on the Switch that I want to play. So that's kind of why I didn't, and also it's a lot of money.
Diablo 1's on GOG.
Yeah. HD version, right?
Yeah, first ever digital release of it.
Yeah,
for Diablo 1.
So there's some sort of little thing happens,
GOG,
right?
I think, they worked with Blizzard to make it work natively on Windows 10 and to run in HD.
Yeah, which is a big deal, because otherwise you'd get like fucking pillar boxes on the side and stuff.
Oh yeah, it'd run at like, 480p by default.
Like Dungeon Keeper, if you've played, there's a lot of stuff on GOG that is like that, you have to really...
Yeah, it runs in a tiny window, unless you mod it.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys ever had a game sort of U-turn like this, so that's the thrust of the email, isn't it? Have you ever played anything and thought, fuck that, and then gone back to it and thought, I really like it?
What have you got?
I'm trying... What was it? I can't remember.
I'll hop in with mine, and if you want what you think.
I'll try and think.
Mass Effect, right? Have you ever watched, like, Ninja Warrior?
Yeah.
You ever watched Ninja Warrior? Yeah?
Those two sentences do not... Why do they sit next to each other? Yeah, I can think of one. Mass Effect. Have you ever watched Ninja Warrior?
There's like that.
Please explain yourself.
There's like that wall, like that half pipe, and then you have to do the wall.
Yeah,
that was me with Mass Effect. Like I needed them. So it started off okay.
That's trash, man.
Yeah, So it's got a curve. It's got a curve, and it's got like quite a good prologue mission, if I remember. Like you shepherd, and you go on, and you end up. I think you destroy this like giant beacon thing or something. But then you've got this citadel thing, right?
Yeah, it's a classic BioWare. You've done the first like dungeony bit. here's a town. It's classic
exactly,
but it does lose momentum.
But town sounds good. Town sounds like it's going to be thatched roofs, peasants,
good is very
and a tavern keeper. This is just like frogmen talking to you about how unimportant you are, and everyone hates you as well. So it's not a warm welcome into the game because you're just getting shouted at by like loads of little alien freaks.
Well, it's weird because it's the human. It's a really interesting point the humans are like
the newcomers,
the new ones, aren't they? Yeah. And then so the humans are like all right with you, but even one of the main human guys is a bit of a dick.
Exactly. So I go and do this big mission, like save the bloody world. Come back to report my findings, and everyone's treating me like a 5-year-old. So then, like a 5-year-old, I have a tantrum, and I'm like, fuck this game.
Yeah.
I played Knights of the Old Republic, and it was better. Happened twice. Never owned it. Third time, tried it on PC. The first 2 times were on Xbox. Was it 360? Yeah?
Yeah.
360. Didn't enjoy it. Played it on PC, right? And then you get past that citadel, and you get to pick. It's a bit where you can pick where you go. You go to like the place with like the scorpion race and all the other one. And then from that point on, I was like, this is interesting. Because I was, by the way, playing this after Knights of the Old Republic. People are aware it's Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm expecting Knights of the Old Republic. But then when it gets to that part, when you find out the old race, like halfway through the game, you find out that there was this old race that came before, and then one of them speaks to you and shit. It had me hooked, like amazing. And obviously, everyone knows the rest. Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mass Effect was, and it really was like, this game is shite the first 2 times. Yeah. It took me 3 runs at the wall to get up there. Now hit the button, boom, done. Loved it.
I'm glad you loved it. I didn't know. I thought you didn't like it. So that's
Mass Effect. I really rate it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The first one, especially.
I think it's because you generally don't really like sci-fi, do you? Like not hugely.
Spacey stuff. No.
Yeah.
Sci-fi is different now for me because
Cyberpunk
I would normally say I don't like it. I like cyborgy stuff on Earth. Yeah. But space, it's a lot of nothing.
You like a robot complicatedly loving a AI.
Yeah, I like interpersonal relationship problems with cybernetics. Yeah. Not so much space, which is just a lot of shite. So I don't know. There's some good space games, but Mass Effect's probably the better one. Don't know what else.
In terms of an RPG, it's one of the best ones.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just give me a forest and a wizard and that. And I'm in.
Yeah, well, I love Mass Effect. I think 1 and 2 were like really good little bits of sci-fi. The third one's a bit. I really liked it. It included, it's just that everyone thinks about the ending, don't they? But they forget it's a fucking great game all the way up to that.
Tough act to follow, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And Mass Effect 3 isn't necessarily a great bit of sci-fi in the same way that 1 and 2 are, but 3 is like a bit more of a sort of blockbustery, general sort of apocalypse feel to it, isn't it?
Almost a bit fan fiction-y how it goes.
Yeah, I suppose a little bit, yeah. But I don't think I've ever sort of U-turned that hard on anything. I can think a little bit, I think on Planetary Annihilation, which is a sort of spiritual successor to Total Annihilation, which I absolutely loved, one of my first real sort of gaming experiences. Yeah. And then they came out with this Planetary Annihilation, which is like Kickstarter project, and it was like 90 quid or some bollocks like that to buy because you were sort of supporting development as well and things. And I played it and I was like, don't know. And then I kept like slagging it off.
Big Bertha.
And then, where the fuck is Big Bertha? And then someone kept saying, Mike, just try it. And then I was like, all right, I gave it another spin, and I did like it. I thought it actually was
manage your own
better.
Expectations, and then you went in there level head, right?
Yeah. I just cannot emphasize enough how good Total Annihilation was at the time. And just this wasn't that same sort of stratospheric high bar. But I think that's the only one I can think of. What about you, Liam? You had a little think there.
I have one in recent memory. It can sound a bit weird, but Dragon Quest Builders. Have you ever played that?
No.
Which is, it's Dragon Quest, but basically Minecraft. And at first I was playing it and I was like, this is shit, it's just third-person Minecraft. And it was just like building shite houses and stuff. But then about halfway through the game, you start unlocking the ability to build castles and cannons, and you get monsters that like siege your castle and stuff like that. And by that point I was like, this is actually really fun. And so I went from just going, this is boring, to, you know what, I quite like this, it's very charming.
It does happen, it does. It just goes to show, doesn't it? I'm sure I must have a better example than Planetary Annihilation, but I just can't think of it.
I have a lot of other U-turns where I start out liking the game and then hate it by the end.
I've
got a lot of them.
Yeah, the one that always springs to mind with you is the flipping Metal Gear Solid tribute act on the Switch.
Never stop sneaking.
Yeah. That was you could chart my downfall.
Yeah,
like,
that was actually.
I think it's because I
great.
lived it with you a little bit.
Yeah, I know, you
coming in
day
every day,
one.
you'd ask how it was, and it just slowly get worse and worse.
Yeah,
That happens a lot to me, where I really enjoy a game and then hate it by the end.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know why.
I think
Well, not hate. That's probably too harsh a word.
I definitely cool on games over time. Like, I think it probably happened a bit with Red Dead Redemption most recently, where I thought, well, I think it genuinely did have an amazing opening sort of 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then
that was more of like a peaks and valleys thing for me.
Sure, yeah. But then I think the peaks sort of got less pronounced. And the ending is I liked it. I thought it was quite a strong way to close and stuff. But yeah, anyway, let's do one more email before we before we do new releases. Actually, two.
Okay.
The first one is from Melman, who says, "Dear Espresso Moves, if you ever do your podcast on the moon, please call it Spatial Moves." Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah. Spatial moons.
Greetings from Kenya. Good job, Melman.
Yes,
Thanks.
man.
Kenya.
Kenya is actually ace.
Fuck. I've been talking to a lot of different people online and in person about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I have owned it on every single console since PS2. I even owned 2 copies on PS2, one of which I still have with booklet and map. The topic of conversation has always been, why can't Rockstar remaster it? While Rockstar may not be in the business of remastering games, maybe they are secretly, who knows, I feel like a San Andreas remaster, if marketed correctly, could outsell GTA 5's opening weekend. Thoughts? Melman.
Tough one, this. Tough one.
Yeah, I think it's just because the sheer size of San Andreas would be quite an undertaking if you were remastering it. Like, the only thing I can compare it to is, Final Fantasy VII Remake. They've said they're going to have to do that in, like, episodes because it'd be...
Too big.
Yeah, too big to do it all on one disc.
Yeah.
And I think the same would be with San Andreas.
San Andreas had 3, if you didn't know, 3 islands that were cities and rural areas.
Yeah, and they were quite expansive.
Yeah, they were fucking huge, man. And so you had like a San Francisco, you had a Las Vegas, and you had an LA, and obviously they all had their Rockstarized.
And then you had all the country, rural area in between.
Yeah, and then so some of that, so the Vegas one was like desert, military bases, airfields. You had the mountains and stuff in the San Francisco one, and then in LA it was kind of basically like what you've got in GTA 5 a little bit, where it's just a little bit arid and stuff. And
it's interesting. San Andreas is a strong one to do first if you were going to do them, I think.
I don't know what if Rockstar were going to remaster anything. Possibly, I don't know. They've got so much to choose from that people go nuts over anyone. Like if they did a Max Payne 1 and 2, amazing.
Even outside of Grand Theft Auto, you mean? So like any of their games
for sure. The Warriors, Ace, I'd love that. But they've got loads of games that people remember fondly. So
San Andreas was like massive, right? Vice City.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
I wonder, like, out of those two, which one would be most popular if they both came out and you had to pick one? I wonder what most people would pick.
I would probably pick Vice City. I've got a soft spot for that one.
And I also think that we have got GTA 5, which is
quite Vice City.
33% of the way there to be in to be in
San Andreas.
San Andreas.
Yeah, because you got Los Santos.
You've got the exact same location. So GTA Vice City. That would make it a bit more
easier,
sense.
because you just got the one place to remaster.
Yeah.
Or remake, whatever you want to do it.
So...
I don't know. It's... I don't enjoy Grand Theft Auto games as much as everybody else, it seems. Like, they're good. Like, they are decent.
They're good at the time for me.
Yeah, I get really bored of them, though.
I fall off them quickly.
Yeah, that's it. But San Andreas is the one I played the most. Just, like, trying to get my stats up on the BMX, trying to BMX up mountains and, having, like, that, like, nice...
Take over territories.
Yeah.
You could customise your car in it.
Yeah, there's
loads of stuff in it. Yeah.
Pomp Iron, man, it was funny. I did enjoy that, so I'd probably go for that if I could pick a Grand Theft Auto to remaster. But yeah, nice one, man. Own it. The map still fresh.
Yeah.
How many years old is that now? It's got to be like 15, hasn't it?
Was it 4 or 5?
4. It is.
I feel like 4, but I don't know.
So 15 years ago.
Yeah. That would be pretty special though. Good email, Melman. And last up, we've got Ryan Anderson who says, "Dear Special Moves, EGX this year." Yeah, mate. Yeah, EGX. Yeah,
100%.
We're going to Res.
We're going to Res, yeah, and I'll probably be working at EGX now.
Yeah.
But if I'm not, I'll be there, not working. But either way, I will be there. I don't know. At least we know he's in the UK, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we're going to both, hopefully.
Resd is a month away. They're
Very
both in
close.
London now, aren't
Very
they,
close.
this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, for those international, it's EGX is like, it's, I don't know, is it the closest we've got to E3?
It's the biggest one.
It's
we've got.
definitely
It's
the biggest one in the UK.
Yeah, and I think it's like the third biggest in Europe or something like that.
And it's great.
Yeah,
It's
It's
really
fun.
good.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So
Like-
it's really nice speaking to the developers there. It's like a good, the indie section is always great, and then the devs are always like around their own games, so you can chat to them about the games and stuff. And it's
yeah,
fantastic.
there was.
that.
I remember we were at EGX, and in the indie section there was Phoenix Point, the XCOM
Yep.
people, and like one of the original guys that made the original XCOM was just there, like chilling out, which isn't a big deal for. I know many people, especially younger people, but for those that remember and were around, that's so cool.
You can actually just talk to them about the games that they're making and stuff, which is really
you don't have
nice.
to have like an appointment or
Yeah.
something like that. You can just, they are literally standing around and they are there because they want you to play their game, and they, it doesn't cost any money. It's not like a fairground thing.
Yeah.
Some things, Resd is like very much like that, but with a lot more
Indie-focused.
indie focused.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more of that if that's what you're into. The sort of complete opposite side of that you get at the real EGX is the big games have big queues.
Mm-hmm.
So like Division 2 we played, like, which obviously is that even out yet? Division 2? Nope.
It's out next week.
We played it in September, and the queue for that, I think, if we were to queue, was about 2.5 hours.
Horrendous.
3 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours for COD.
Yeah,
There was
the-
4 hours.
Got to be
Black
fair though,
Ops queue
it was a
mad.
good demo. The Division 2 thing was a good
It was,
demo,
yeah.
and I think we had. As far as the AAA games go, we had a lot of fun playing a bit of co-op on Division
Yeah,
2.
I think that's what I said. I don't know if we all agree. I can't remember, but I know certainly I felt like it was the strongest
Yeah.
AAA demo that I'd seen.
Yeah.
And we
It
played
was
all
good,
sorts, obviously. Yeah.
So,
looking forward to it.
that's it for the emails then. Thanks for sending those in. It's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, send it to dearspecialmoves@gmail.com, and we'll read it out and have a little chat about whatever you've said. Great emails this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for sending them in. We've got one sort of new game that I've picked out because... I don't know. It's the Division 2 because it's just how can I ignore it? But there's a couple of others, but I didn't go for them. So if you are really annoyed that I didn't pick the other games that come out next week, please tell me in the comments. The Division 2 is out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One on March the 15th, which is the Friday. Now, there's a huge patch on day one,
Yeah.
which originally was 90 gigabytes. Don't worry, it's not 90 gigabytes actually.
I think it's like 54 now.
It's only the
Still
50.
big.
Yeah, it's only the 50. So 50 gig patch on day one.
Yeah, and that's for the everywhere now. It was going to be 90 gig just on the PS4.
Yeah.
Because I think the PC one and the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I think what it is they accidentally pushed the wrong build or something, and now they've said that they're going to send out the right one. It'll be that.
Yeah.
I think you can get this early if you pay more.
Yeah, however, I've kind of decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to say that the day it's out for the Muggles. Because it's up to them. That's the release date, all right? Everything else...
Be clever with it.
Yeah, everything else,
Yeah.
right, is just... I don't know. If
Early
you're getting it
access.
3 days early,
Yeah.
it doesn't
It's
fucking
worth
matter.
knowing. If you're desperate for it, you can pay an extra
Yeah.
Yeah,
45
I just don't want to carry the
You
message.
can pay twice.
I just
Might
don't...
be some really intense Division fans out there who want to get their hands on it.
And I feel like that they would already know at this point.
They already know.
So
Yeah.
so a new policy for the new game slot.
Oh, okay.
We're going
I
for
like it,
we're going for the release day only,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Okay.
So none of this because it was boring the shit out of me
Yeah.
talking to and then later listening
Can
back
you remember, was it Battlefield 5?
Yeah.
And that was in our new releases
Yeah.
for 3 podcasts.
to. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was boring the shit out of me talking about that every week and then listening back to myself talking about Battlefield 5's release. So that's not happening anymore. We're just going with the actual release date. And the Division 2 is
regular
out
paying crowd,
for,
yeah.
for the Muggles, and it's out this week. I'm not going to get it. I was thinking probably about a year ago or whenever it was announced. I thought that's probably going to be day one for me. That
Hey.
played it at EGX, liked it a lot. Played the beta. A couple of when was it? Last week, the week before.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, it was last Friday, yeah.
yeah.
God, it feels like further away.
Feels like an age.
It does. yeah.
And I may get it. I may get it one day, but I'm just
Yeah.
done a little bit with shared world stuff.
It's a bad window, I guess, for them all to come out so close to
is.
each other.
Yeah.
It was like that with me. I think my interest peaked right after that demo. I had a really nice time
Yeah.
playing it with people I know, people I like, communicating with you all with headsets on. That was like the peak of that
Yeah.
online shared shooter stuff. And obviously it was a very highly curated slice that we got to play. We didn't just get to play from the beginning. We got to play like a bit that was obviously designed to sort of get our brains tingling. And if it was out the following week after I played it, I would have got it. Now, Sekiro is the only game this month.
Yeah,
I think.
No, same. I've been playing Devil May Cry, which me and Liam are going to be doing a video on later this week. But Devil May Cry, that's really good. But yeah, I just want more of that. I want more Devil May Cry. I want more Resident Evil. I want more
Capcom.
more Capcom.
Make me more games, Capcom.
I want more just stuff that I will sink my teeth into for a week or two and then move on to something else. I don't want to be checking in for a second fucking job when I get home from work, because it's
there's a lot of that.
It's going to take what I've already said many a time at this point. It's going to take the insane dopamine smack of shooting things in the head in Destiny for me to get into another shared world shooter. I think I don't know what a shared world shooter can do at this point to make me really interested in it, because Anthem on paper should be everything I want. It's not.
Yeah.
The Division, I know I like Division 1 a lot. I'm not interested in the Division 2.
Yeah, I found that interesting about what you said then, because I played the beta for the first game.
The Division. Yeah.
Liam played it in a very unorthodox way, I suppose.
I played it the complete wrong way. I hammered the Division 1, which
like a while after release.
When it got put on Game Pass, which obviously they don't want people to just like marathon it.
Yeah,
no.
They want people. Yeah, they want people to keep logging in, getting their dailies and all that.
You were doing a shift, and then you were doing like 12 hours unauthorized overtime.
Yeah,
and the managers at the factory were like, "Ooh, I don't know.
This Liam's going to kill himself.
We better speak to HR about this." Yeah, and then but you enjoyed Division 1, and so between the three of us, none of us are really that.
Yeah, I mean, if you are interested in it, if you are getting into Division 2 day one, please tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about the game so far. Tell us why you're getting it, and what why you feel about this sort of shared world stuff. Maybe you haven't bought into the Anthem or Destiny or anything else, and you've just thought, I've played the Division 1, I'm going to play a Division 2.
Yeah.
Maybe there are people like
this
that.
This might be your game.
Yeah, exactly. So let us know what you think about that. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching.
Yeah.
The
I think,
episode,
is it 27?
28.
27, 8? Episode 28. Yeah, I think you're right then.
I think it is.
Thanks everyone for listening to and watching episode 28 of the Special Moves podcast. We'll be back next week with, I don't know, no Division impressions, so don't, we've sort of established that, I think.
Hey, listen, we'll find something that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff. March's been quite good.
My prediction is Apex will drop this Battle Pass this week.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Good prediction, that. I don't know what we're going to be talking about. More Sekiro, probably. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Swords out the sheets, baby. Such a bad way to end that.